Welcome to Study Expert channel. Today we will discuss about what is social groups and types of group. Definition of group. According to McIlver, by group we mean any collection of human beings who are brought into social relationships with one another. Bogardus writes, a social group may be thought of as a number of persons, two or more, who have some common objects of attention, who are stimulating to each other, who have a common loyalty and participate in similar activities. According to Ogburn and Nimkoff, whenever two or more individuals come together and influence one another, they may be said to constitute a social group. Group types. 1. In-groups and out-groups. 2. Primary and secondary groups. 3. Quasi-groups. 4. Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft. 5. Reference groups. 1. In-groups and out-groups. In-group. An in-group is a social category to which persons feel they belong and share a consciousness or awareness of kind. In other words, these are the groups for which we proceed with the pronoun my, such as my family, my nation, my caste, my occupational groups, etc. Example, birds of the same feather flock together. Characteristics of in-group are mutual sympathy towards one another, mutual cooperation, help and goodwill, respect for mutual benefits and rights, sentiment of solidarity and feeling of tolerance, compassion and generosity, preferential behavior with the members. Outgroup. An outgroup is a group or category to which people feel they do not belong. We treat most members of outgroup as others. We have the feeling of indifference, avoidance, competition, suspicion and scorn towards them. Characteristics of outgroup. In-group tends to stereotype, label the outgroup members such as racists, barbarians, spendthrifts, anti-capitalists, revolutionaries, rich and greedy. Any threat from the outgroup increase solidarity of in-group. 2. Primary and secondary groups. A primary relationship is one in which intimate facetto, phase association and cooperation predominate. These relations are based on ties of affection and loyalty, involve many different aspects to people's lives, and endure over long period of times. According to Cooley, by primary group we mean a group characterized by a high degree of solidarity, informally in the code of rules which regulate the behavior of its members, and autonomy in the creation of these rules. The solidarity involves a close identification of the members with one another and with any symbols of the group which might have grown up. 3. Quasi-groups. These groups stand in between the primary and secondary groups. Quasi-groups are collection of people which lack organization and structure and members do not have much awareness about the existence of their group. Social classes, status groups, age groups, sex groups, racial groups, crowd, publics, audiences are some of the examples of quasi-group. 4. Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft. Somewhat similar to the concepts of primary and secondary groups are the concepts of Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft. These are German terms and used to represent community and society. These concepts were developed by German sociologist Ferdinand Tönnies to differentiate between urban and rural life. Gemeinschaft. Social relationship whatever function characterized by relative smallness, cohesion, long duration and emotional intensity. Social control in Gemeinschaft is maintained through informal means such as moral persuasion, gossip, and even gestures. Gesellschaft. Characteristic of modern urban life. A society based on relations or roles and consisting of associational groups. It is characterized by individualism, mobility, impersonality, the pursuit of self-interest and an emphasis on progress rather than tradition. Shared values and total personal involvement become secondary. Tony's writes, everybody is by himself and isolated, and there exists a condition of tension against all others. Gesellschaft, in short, is the logic of the marketplace, where relationships are contractual, impersonal and temporary. 5. Reference groups. Mustafa Sharif defined reference group as those groups to which the individual relates himself as a part or to which he aspires to relate himself psychologically. The term reference group was coined by Herbert Heumann. Reference group which is used as a basis for comparison and evaluation. A reference group may or may not be a membership group. Types of reference group. Positive reference groups. These are the ones we want to be accepted by. Thus, i.e. we want to be a film actors, we might carefully observe and imitate the behavior of film actors. Negative reference groups. These groups we do not be identified with. Try to avoid resembling members of a particular group. Thank you for watching.